Employee retention credit for plumbing and HVAC firms. Do you qualify or not? Getting an ERC, if you qualify, can be a huge boon for you and your business. There can be a lot of money involved here. Getting it, if you do not qualify, can be a disaster, resulting in an IRS audit and payback of the ERC with penalties and interest. At Torchlight Tax, we sort out this qualification step with certainty. Your plumbing and/or HVAC, ventilation, and air conditioning firm may very well be eligible for the Employee Retention Credit, ERC or ERTC. The plumbing and HVAC industries were significantly impacted during the pandemic. Employers can retroactively claim the ERC based on hardships experienced during 2020 and 2021. Some plumbing HVAC firms thought they did not qualify for the ERC because they were essential workers. They stayed open during the pandemic and did not qualify by the gross receipts tests. They may very well qualify safely by a rigorously done alternate test. With a potential of $26,000 per 2020-2021 employee, you should find out with certainty whether your firm qualifies for the ERC or not. Misinformation has been spread about the qualifications for this credit, resulting in some qualifying firms not applying for the credit and some non-qualifying firms applying for and receiving the credit, thus setting themselves up for a future audit. As a full-service tax firm composed of EAs, CPAs, tax attorneys, and support staff, Torchlight Tax can handle your entire ERC process in-house. The first and most important step is determining whether or not you qualify with certainty. This is Dave Horwedel, the founder and CEO of Torchlight Tax. We recommend you watch this entire video, but if you want to skip ahead and call 1-877-758-7797, we'll be glad to do a free consultation to see how much ERC you safely qualify for. We'll be glad to assist your firm in getting the maximum ERC the firm qualifies for. I'll be frank. Some ERC firms are greedy, lazy, or incompetent. Some firms operate on the basis that everyone is eligible. They know full well that the IRS is likely to pay ERC funds if you have the requisite number of employees in 2020-2021. They can collect their commission from your ERC refund and disappear before the audit letters arrive. They often say, there is no risk, as you do not have to pay our fee until you get your refund. This is false. The risk is that you get a large refund, spend it, and then get wiped out when an IRS ERC audit demands the refund back with fines and penalties. One characteristic of many of these firms is that they end off when they receive their fee and they do not amend the necessary 2020 and 2021 tax returns or provide audit defense. Other, more conservative firms can be overcautious. They see what some of these ERC-only firms are doing and want no part of it. In their caution, they only use the easy-to-apply gross receipts test. Both of these firms have something in common. They are not doing the study and hard work necessary to do the ERC correctly. Some firms, like Torchlight Tax, do it right. Torchlight Tax includes CPAs, EAs, and tax attorneys who are experienced in tax and have done a thorough study of ERC law, IRS regulations, and IRS guidance on the ERC. Our product is the tax dollars we save you, or the refunds we get you, without cheating or putting you at risk. Doing it right takes a lot of study and work. I will shortly discuss some specific ways plumbing HVAC firms can qualify for ERC. Many of these tests can require many hours of work. The rewards are large enough to be more than worth the effort. To find out how much ERC you qualify for, contact Torchlight Tax at 1-877-758-7797 or email us at info@torchlighttax.com. We had a taxpayer contact us after watching one of our ERC videos. His CPA had determined he qualified for a small amount of ERC by the gross receipts test. In fact, using the alternate test, he was eligible for hundreds of thousands of dollars more. The Employee Retention Credit is the last major COVID-19 relief program left. The most short-changed ERC test is the partial shutdown test. This test requires a greater than 10% reduction in your ability to deliver goods and services in a quarter resulting from COVID-19 governmental orders. This is often far easier to qualify than a greater than 50% 2020 or 20% 2021 drop needed for the gross receipts test compared to the corresponding 2019 quarters. Many plumbing HVAC firms qualify by this test when they do not qualify by gross receipts. Governmental orders creating qualifying partial suspensions were more common than many employers and tax practitioners realized. Employers and tax professionals often shortchange the analysis of how the ability to deliver goods and services was impeded. Billions of ERC dollars have already been awarded to a broad spectrum of employers, including those in your industry. Unlike the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP loans, the ERC had never been limited by available federal funds. So any business that qualifies and applies can still file for ERC relief. At Torchlight Tax, the steps in ERC application and delivery are sevenfold. Step 1, we do an initial free consultation and analysis to determine if your firm meets ERC qualifications. To do this analysis, we'll require gross receipts by quarter for 2019, 2020, and 2021. Copy the payroll tax forms 941 filed with the IRS for 2020 and 2021. Quarterly payroll broken down by employee for each quarter in 2020 and 2021. Did your firm receive Payroll Protection Program PPP funds? If so, when? How much? We will need your PPP application forms. Were PPP loans forgiven? If so, we need the SBA forgiveness applications and the SBA forgiveness letters. Did your firm provide health insurance? If so, we will need payroll summaries including this data for 2020 and 2021 by quarter and employee. A thorough ERC eligibility interview with a Torchlight tax expert and the employer. This is a critical step of a proper ERC and may take some time. Step 2. Next, we project your ERC refund amount and our projected fee. We'll explain to you exactly how you qualify. You don't have to take our word for it. We'll work with you to determine what test you qualify and how you qualify by that test. You should not have us apply for the ERC on your behalf unless you agree you qualify. If you and we both are confident that you qualify, then, step 3, we file your amended 941 tax return that generate your refund checks. Step 4, you receive your refund checks, usually 3 to 12 months later. Step 5, you pay our fee if not already done. Step 6, we amend the required 2020 and 2021 annual business and personal tax return. Because the IRS paid back the money you deducted in wages, some of this wage expense you deducted in 2020, 2021 is reduced, thus increasing your profit and taxes in these years, making these amendments necessary. Step 7, we stand by you for 5 years of audit defense and respond rapidly and accurately to the IRS if you're audited. With your help, we have already determined exactly how you qualify and have written out our analysis. We're ready to substantiate your ERC claim. Even if you are audited, it is not a big deal. Audits are only dangerous if the original return was done wrong. There is a common misunderstanding among taxpayers and inadequately trained tax professionals. They think the IRS gives them a refund after reviewing their tax return. This is false. The IRS gives out a refund after receiving your tax return and, assuming there are no glaring errors that are flagged by the computer, issues a refund. They assume your tax return is correct. Now, for usual tax filings, they have 3 years to audit your return and request a refund back. However, due to the concerns about possible ERC fraud, the IRS has 5 years to audit you on the ERC. They're also adding on 87,000 additional IRS staff to increase their ability to collect taxes. As a practical matter, if you have the requisite number of W-2 employees and correctly file your 941Xs, the IRS will generally mail ERC refund checks as soon as the returns are processed. The RFC can provide much needed relief for firms striving to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. We at Torchlight Tax are offering a free consultation and analysis to see if your firm qualifies. This is crucial and must not be done in a brush-off manner. ERC-only firms started popping up in 2020 and 2021. These firms only do ERC. Many of these firms apply for the ERC without analyzing and substantiating how the employer qualifies. It is not enough to cite social distancing and had to wear a mask and could not meet in person. Some of these firms consider their job done once the refund is received and their fee paid, and do not amend required tax returns or do audit defense. One can legitimately wonder whether they will exist after new ERC claims die out. Torchlight Tax was doing business and personal tax preparation, IRS representation, and audit, lien, and levy defense long before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. We will continue doing it long into the future. What is the ERC-only firm going to do in a couple of years? The IRS has even warned taxpayers about third-party practitioners promising things too good to be true. See my video, IRS issues warning on ERC submissions using unethical or untrained third parties, which includes the verbatim IRS warning and my analysis. You can see this and other ERC videos on the Torchlight Tax YouTube channel and website. In addition to ERC blog articles on the website, we also have an ERC ebook and dozens of blog articles and videos on other tax topics. You need a real tax firm for the ERC that takes all the necessary steps. You do not want one firm doing the 941Xs, another firm amending the 2020-21 income tax return, and a third firm doing your ERC audit defense for the 5-year after filing audit window. At Torchlight Tax, we want to do all the 941Xs that generate the ERC, amend all required annual income tax returns, and do any needed audit defense for the 5-year audit window. This way we are responsible for the whole cycle. Some employers have decided it is too risky to apply for the ERC. This is based on the false idea that no one can really know if they qualify for the ERC or not. A better approach is to work with the tax experts at Torchlight Tax, and together we can determine if you qualify for the ERC with certainty. One firm, similar to yours, had been afraid to apply for the ERC because the firm's CEO felt there was something wrong with the ERC-only firms who were promising him big money. After we did a thorough consultation and analysis, he learned with certainty that he was eligible for a $450,000 ERC and applied. The idea that the ERC is so complex that an owner, manager, or CEO cannot understand it is completely wrong. Some ERC experts say they understand it, but you and your CPA, EA, or tax attorney do not. They think you should take their word that you qualify. There are complexities and fine points in doing an ERC submission for many employees, but the qualification rules are not all that complex. If the IRS audits you, you generally receive a letter. We reviewed your payroll tax return forms 941Xs, and you do not meet the qualifications for the Employee Retention Credit, ERC. If you agree with this, check the box that you agree with our determination and sign below. You will owe us your ERC refund plus fines and penalties. If you disagree with this, please send us your response showing how you are eligible for the ERC. You attempt to call your ERC firm, no answer. This could be 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. At this point or earlier, you can contact Torchlight Tax. At Torchlight Tax, we do audit defense every day. We're experts in determining if you qualify for the ERC or not on a quarter-by-quarter basis. Whether we have new clients applying for ERC, clients who want an ERC review done, or an ERC audit defense, all clients are handled in the same way to determine eligibility. The only difference comes after an exhaustive analysis. For those who are not qualified and have not already applied for the ERC, we do not apply and there is no fee. For those who did apply, we defend you in the best way possible to minimize the damage. If you do not qualify by the gross receipts test, there's a second independent test that you take. The basic alternate test is, if COVID-19 governmental orders, federal, state, or local, required modification that impacted your business to cause a greater than 10% reduction in your ability to deliver goods and services, then you qualify. This is the partial shutdown test. Or, if COVID-19 governmental orders, federal, state, or local, impacted your business by creating supply chain disruptions that caused a greater than 10% reduction in your ability to deliver goods and services, then you qualify. Let us take a plumbing HVAC firm and review how COVID-19 governmental orders may have affected it. Number one, how much time did you have to spend cleaning and disinfecting at the start and end of the day or between jobs? 2, did governmental orders limit crew size? 3, were there supply chain disruptions because of governmental orders? 4, did social distancing slow production? 5, Did you arrive at clients' homes or businesses and get refused interest? 6. Was your sales process disrupted? 7. How often did you test your staff for COVID-19? How much time was lost? 8. Did your crew have to wait outside in social distancing line to get needed supplies? 9. Were any other modifications required that reduced your ability to deliver goods and services? If we can substantiate that governmental COVID-19 orders created a greater than 10% reduction in the company's ability to deliver goods and services for a quarter, then that quarter qualifies. Once your qualifications are confirmed for all eligible quarters, then we can calculate how much ERC you're eligible for. There are some other ERC eligibility tests, and we're glad to check these for you. However, the above covers 98% of all valid ERC claims. Once again, this is Dave for without Torchlight Tax. We're happy to get all the ERC you truly qualify for, or to tell you do not qualify and end off there. If you have already applied for the ERC and are concerned you may not qualify, we're happy to review your ERC and advise you on what to do. If you're under IRS audit, we're happy to defend you. Remember, we are a full-service tax firm composed of EAs, CPAs, tax attorneys, and support staff. In addition to handling all ERC matters, we'll be glad to service your personal and business tax needs in the years to come. Contact Torchlight Tax for a free consultation at 1-877-758-7797 or email info@torchlighttax.com. You can also read our tax blog at torchlighttax.com or watch our videos on the Torchlight Tax YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. If you have any comments or questions, we're glad to hear from you and respond. Just click below, call, or email us. We hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. We look forward to hearing from you.